Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hello, hi, how are you doing, my lovelies, my royalty, my beauties? Okay, let's get some scorching hot, boiling hot tea, petty tea, extra petty. Yes. And also, let's hold on the mind your own business because I'm going to be getting all into because we have a certain orange man who wants to get into everybody's business, especially disability business. And who, yeah, that's what this episode is about. But okay, if you like it cold, hold the ice. Hold the ice. Speaking of the orange man, yeah, same reason as the orange man with the hold the ice. So and also, don't forget about the Patreon. Don't forget about the Patreon. I have the free, I have the $2 and the $4. And right now, yeah, if you're with the $2, hey, it's like I haven't really done much for the $4 level just for them yet. But especially once the novel is going through the editing process and everything else, you will start like the $4 people will be start getting spoiled too. Okay. Oh, and also, yeah, once the candles, because there's gonna be some special things about that too. But okay, the orange man is going too far, and he's been going too far. He's been like name calling and like especially with the disability community, guys. Back it up to around 2016. How did he treat that one guy with the disability? What kind of gesture did he do? And then his crowd was laughing. That's one reason why, yeah, I don't like. There are some Republicans that I can, I've already mentioned a couple Republicans who I'm like, hey, if you're that kind of Republican, okay, yeah, we will probably get along as maybe friends, maybe acquaintances, but maybe friends. Yeah. Anna from The View, she's like my pinnacle of, okay, if you're that kind of Republican, we can at least have brunch. We're probably not hanging out all the time, but we can at least have brunch and spill some tea, maybe not as petty. Maybe not as petty, okay. But, now our orange guy, yeah, he wants to announce like to the public someone who now has a terminal like ailment, someone who's going to be passing away, wants to say this over the mic and wants to say basically that he's going to be gone by June. What kind of leader do we have? And years ago, let's back it up again. When he was building some of his buildings, he did not want to have Braille in his elevators because he said Braille is ugly. If you don't know about it, look it up. There are so many times where he has put down the disabled community, but then I see disabled people like, he's a great man. He's going to save us all. He's going to do ABC. Shut up. Are you this dim-witted? Are you this? It's like, come on, guys. Maybe it's ignorance, maybe it's naive, maybe it's just bigotry. Because so many, like, certain demographics with disabilities, they love the orange man so much because they love watching other demographics like just be put down and dehumanized and picked on and bullied. Some of them have been bullied throughout their lives, especially if they were born with a disability. I feel like some of them are enjoying it because now they get to watch other people be bullied, other people be picked on, and they're not used to that. And now they feel like they can join that community, join that group where now they can help with and cheer on other people getting picked on. Even though they like the people they hang around with might be talking about them behind their back, might be laughing at them behind their back, not wanting to include them in activities or protest like the rallies or whatever. It doesn't matter because now they have at least some moments, sometimes where they get to be the representation of the bully. And it's like, yeah, I'm attaching the episode of The View in this episode because you gotta watch it, because I was already gonna talk about this, but I was gonna wait because I wanted to kind of tie this into some of the other disability topics, but I might even bring those up with this episode. Because what happened at that award ceremony and the guy with Tourette's, whoo, it's like I being mad at both sides, because being mad at him at what he did, yes, but then understanding his disability, so trying to have empathy and compassion, be like, okay, that really pisses me off, but at the same time, the type of Tourette's you have, maybe like with the brain waves, like I don't know, like, it's just wow, like timing, and it's like an ounce of me thinks that might be what you really think of us, but I'm not gonna know that because like, so it's like, so yeah, I parts of me wonders, parts of me like I would never have brunch with him. And it's not because of his disability, it's because the timing. The time, because part of me, I don't know if he saw them and he knows that's a hurtful thing, and with his Tourette's, it like he does the ones where it's connected to the hurtful things. Like I want to study more with how certain words come out, because I don't know if he, like, his mind just knows it's hurtful but he doesn't want to say it but he says it anyway, or he knows it's hurtful and that's something he wants to say but he doesn't want to say it, but then he's forced to say it. So yeah, but with the orange man, he doesn't have that problem. Doesn't have Tourette's. So when he tries to say that, I believe it was Gavin Newsom, he was born with a learning disability and everything like that. But then, like, the orange man said, like, yeah, no president should have a learning disability. They shouldn't have a disability. But yeah, he doesn't want to show his college transcripts. He doesn't really want to talk much about his education. But like Mr. and Mrs. Obama, they both taught, like, oh, they brag because they have bragging rights on their education. And so I just find that amusing. Like, he's going to put down somebody who had a learning disability but got this far in life. Do I like, yeah, I'm not going to say, yeah. Do I like the guy? But it's like, I understand, I have a disability, so I'm having empathy on that level at the moment. So, but yeah, having empathy doesn't mean you like the person. Okay, back to it. But it's like just him announcing that he has a learning disability, and then like having the nerve to just like, if someone has a learning disability, that doesn't mean that they're not going to be able to do the job. It's like, it doesn't mean they're not going to be able to be for the people and not just for the MAGA or the Republicans or the people that will cheer you on and love you, adore you, kiss your butt and everything like that. Being president is for being for everyone. And like certain people with disabilities, they would understand what it means to be for all of the people, and how some people sometimes feel left out, and how maybe there should be things so that everyone should have freedom and liberty and accessibility. And because so many people tease and mock, or they nag about certain things that gives other people accessibility, but then they don't understand, like they don't understand just their they were given such a gift to not have to worry about, can I go to this place? I need to call ahead to see, do they have accessibility? Or when you go to a restaurant and then all of a sudden you see stairs and you're like, okay, I'm in a wheelchair, like, okay, can I go in the back? Like, it's like, because yeah, some restaurants you have to, like, if you have a wheelchair, you have to have a different entrance than the rest of the party that you came with. And like even going to musicals and theaters and things like that. It's like you need to make sure that you schedule at a time or try to make sure there are seating so that you will be able to get to your seat or chair. And or even like some people who have like not, there's different types of blindness, but there's some where they have to sit really really close or really really far, and so they would have to make sure that the theaters have seats that are available for them. So it's like, and there's so many other examples, so many other things, but those pop in the top of my head because I've done all of that pretty recently. No, actually recently, not just pretty recently. But it's like people don't understand that. And a lot of people, well, a lot of the Republicans, especially after what happened at the awards ceremony, they were like, well, he should have just stayed home. He should, like, and oh, some Democrats too. So some Democrats, you need to, who gotta learn your history, because there was a time where people with disabilities, we had no choice. We had to stay home because there was a law, law, the ugly tax. Please don't take it back to that day. Mm-mm. And also remember, as you get older, disabilities might catch up, because a lot of people with disabilities, arthritis, and like all of a sudden they need, certain replacements, and, just like maybe even Alzheimer's, dementia, and different, like so many things catch up. So if you say you are for the ugly text, wait one day. You never know when one of those might catch up with your age, and or even with certain cancers and things, god forbid. But I don't know, it's just hearing how the orange man was at the mic and he was just like, yeah, yeah, tell him, oh yeah, yeah, tell him, oh yeah, it's terminal, oh yeah, he'll be gone by June. Like, what kind of president? Because remember, all lives matter. All lives. That includes the disabled community. I thought, I thought, and I'm also going to be talking about, well, this is river of racism, but I'm going to be dipping my toes in there. Yeah, dipping my toes like what a lot of the Republicans don't want black people to be able to do. But anyway, Texas is now going to like take out all the black people of color, and people with disabilities who were not in armed forces, and LGBTQ with when getting the government contracts. And now other states want to follow through with that because of a law, I think, kind of like with the first or second Bush, I forgot which Bush, but people are slowly trying to bring out segregation and the racism, and they want to call DEI reverse racism. But now they want, like, they're, while they're saying that, they're sneaking around and being racist at the same time. And so disabled community gotta pay attention, because when it comes to the Holocaust learned from slavery. The Holocaust learned from slavery. And then Jim Crow learned from, like, from Africa. Yeah. And so part of me is just wondering, because, like, America decided to learn and learn more about racism and how to do certain things within the racism. So even with that apartheid, that's how the Jim Crow came out. But circle back with the Holocaust, what group did they eliminate first? LGBTQ and disabled. And then what did that one, the old Republican, I think he calls himself, what did he say should be done with the disabled community? And thousands of people, if not millions of people, listen to this man. He said that they should shoot disabled people out of a cannon over a mountain. Yeah, he said that, I think it was last year, before he got handcuffed because he was running away and all this other stuff. Tried to call ex-girlfriends, but no one would pick up the phone because I think they already know how awful of a human being he is, in my opinion. That part is in my opinion. In my opinion, he ill no. But we have to pay attention to what the Republican Party, they're doing and saying about the disabled community. A lot of them do not like us. In Texas, if you pay attention, you know who's in Texas. And that one person is doing a lot of things against the disabled community. But yeah, remember, yeah, do your research and you'll see how amusing that is. You'll see how interesting that is, that a person who was trying to take away disabled opportunities and just fairness and equality, he's in a wheelchair himself. Yeah, yeah. But he can hang on to his money privilege, his white privilege, and everything else privilege. Yeah. It's like even with a disability, he has everything else to hang up on, especially the money, especially his power. But when the orange man said that a president should not have a learning disability, huh? Interesting, huh? Well, I find it really funny because, I mean, I'm not saying I ever want to be president. It's like I have my goals, I have my dreams, and president, like, with, whew, whew. Now I kind of wonder, how do people with walking disabilities or in wheelchairs, how do they get into the White House anyway? Is it accessible? I know they have elevators because I watched The Residents. But then there's the secret passageways where, yeah, I wouldn't be able to go. It'll take me a long time, but so yeah, I could, but yeah, I'd have to be really slow with that one. But yeah, I'm kind of wondering though. I got questions, so many questions. And do they have any braille within the White House? Like, yeah, now I want to do research and see how accessible the Capitol building and the White House are. Yeah. Because by law, but then with some buildings, especially some historical buildings, they don't have to abide by those laws. So, huh. No, okay. That'll be a different episode for a different day, but I think another reason why, like, it triggers me so much about, because it was just, the orange man had no problem. He was just like, yeah, tell him. Just tell him what he got. Yeah, and it's just like, that is none of anybody else's business. Did he give you permission? Did he give you permission? And does his family know? Does his friends know? It's like, are you serious? But then they were all stuck on, yeah, he's a great patriot. He comes to work every day. He does this. Like, okay, but he also proved this is why we need health care for all. Let's stop this health insurance garbage. And I find it really funny how some of the Republicans, they were just like, no, we don't want a health care for all. It's like, we don't even want like Obamacare, but oh, we like this other thing. It's like, I forgot like the other name or whatever, but yeah, it's like, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing under a different name. Obamacare yeah, it's like different names for the same package. But then people kept saying, oh, then I don't want it, I don't want it. And now they don't have it. And yeah, they got what they asked for. They got what they asked for. And then the orange man kept saying that he has thoughts and a process. And also, they're like, where is it then? 2026, where is it? You said this years and years and years ago. Yeah, where is it? Why can't we just have health care for all so that those with disabilities and terminal illnesses and stuff that just creeps up on you. Like the guy from Dawson's Creek, he had to fundraise to try to treat his and he passed away. It's like, because that's another topic that I was going to be talking about within the disability community. But you know what? I'll mention it now because I can always bring this stuff up later. But like, disabilities don't care if you're poor or rich, but if you're rich, you have an advantage. But that doesn't mean, like, especially depending on the disease, doesn't mean you're going to have enough money to try to stay alive. It doesn't. And also, this is another reason why, with women who want to do the traditional route, if your man gets sick, if your man gets a disability, if your man is not all like in the best of health and can't work anymore, what are you going to do? Are you going to work? That's another reason why I say it's like, make sure you invest, make sure you have your bag. And also, if you get a disability, do you know it's such a higher like percentage when the woman has a disability or gets sick that the man leaves? The husband will drop you. Majority. I'm not saying all because and I know this from dating because a lot of men have told me that it's like men are not supposed to, date women like me because it's the woman that's supposed to take care of the man. Even though, yeah, ask Mr. No Heart, ask Mr. Lockakey. I took care of, a lot more than most, yeah. Mm. But anyway. And yes, do I need more help than I used to? Yeah, but at the same time, it's crazy how so many times people tell me, you can't do that, you can't do this. And, ironically, yesterday, I let that get to my head because, I was told again, you can't do something. And yeah, yeah, but I have to shake it off. It's still not shaking off, but I have to shake it off. But I hear it so often. It weighs you down, it weighs me down. And it's annoying. It's frustrating. But when people try to say that you can't be president or you shouldn't be president, but then this is coming from the same orange man who called a woman piggy, who mocked a disabled person, who at almost every opportunity that he has, he calling people low IQ or dumb or saying people eat cats and dogs, this is all from that same man. But then he was so excited to announce someone who is terminally ill, health care for all. If all lives matter, that means we need the health care that proves that. If all lives matter, we need to make sure that anybody and everybody will be able to make a doctor's appointment and not have to do the math on either prescriptions or mortgage or light bill or taking care of the children, or even if their kids about to go to college. But yeah, they're not able to afford their child going to college because they have to make sure that they have enough for either chemo or medications or physical therapy or anything else in their life in order to stay alive or stay as independent as humanly possible. But then at the same time, some of them feel selfish for doing that. It's not fair, it's not right, it's not just. So if you say all lives matter, if you say that, then we need the treatment and the care for all. We need health insurance for all. We need equality within the health system for all. Because even though you're poor does not mean you need poor health care. It's like no one is asking just for a free hand. And if you are, then you should be ashamed of yourself. But no, no, no. We should all have and we pay through it through the taxes. Like years ago, math specialists and economists was showing how great this would be for and how some people, yeah, you might pay a little bit more in taxes, but you're not going to pay nearly as much like health insurance throughout the year. And look at the millions and billions that health insurance companies are making off of us. And then it's like, with even if someone's terminally ill, sometimes if it's too terminal, they are like, no, we can't give them this medication, no, we can't test this trial, no, we can't do this or to do that because it's too late. All lives matter. If they're alive, it matters. How are you saying it's too late? They're still breathing. So, yeah, it's annoying, it's frustrating. And this is coming from somebody who I was diagnosed late in life. I kept telling doctors, but they kept saying I was a liar. They kept saying that I was making it up. I wanted attention. I kept having to fight the pain, fight like just everybody telling me, if you just walk right, everything will be okay. It's your fault. So I kept having to fight until literally I couldn't fight anymore and I had to have surgery. And then after that, doctors kept blaming me, like, "Oh no, we fixed you. You're fine now. Just, yeah, walk right now." Like, it was like if I didn't walk right before, and just all of a sudden. But then they're like, "Oh, something might be wrong. Let's try some tests." Then test after test after test after test after test after test after test. Yeah, you're gonna see how many times. Like, you do not know how many times I had to go to the doctors for different tests and different procedures and different doctors to see what else they can do for me. Yeah, yeah. But then I found out the truth. Then I found out the truth. And it's really funny because this reminds me of my ex as well, which is another reason I want to bring this up, because I'm dragging him at the moment. But uh well, I will never forget when I broke up with him and he tried to just throw a little nick at me. And he was like, he texted me, "You don't even know what you're diagnosed with." After I was diagnosed, I think a month or two prior. So I let him know. I was like, "Actually, no, I am diagnosed." That pissed him off. Oh, he was heated. Oh, he was upset, mad, like just, aggravated right there. But then he texted me, "Well, since you dated me for 7 years, what do you have? You need to tell me." I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, one day I'm going to find out the text messages. But yeah, he told me that I'm obligated to tell him what I have. You didn't care to go to the hospital when I had the surgery. You didn't care to come to the hospital after the procedure. You didn't, like, you lied saying you were going to come over to the house, and then you played video games all day on Steam because you were my friend on Steam, so I watched you. Mm-hmm. I caught you in the lie all day, but then you had the nerve to. Yeah, and it's really funny how he didn't see that I was on Steam. If I'm on, that means I can see exactly what you're doing. See, it's like some people try to say I'm dumb. Not like, it's like having a disability does not mean you're dumb. And so that's another reason why, yeah, the orange man had the, you don't know about us. Especially a lot of us with disabilities, you don't know about us. We're smarter than you think. We're much smarter than you think. A lot of times we're actually, we might be a little smarter than you in some areas. Yeah. Because my ex didn't think much about me, but he's the one that dropped out of college. Yeah, I'm being petty. But thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.